This video is sponsored by Intel.
What's going on, guys? It's your average consumer. And if you've ever wondered how a YouTube video on this channel gets made, today we're gonna give you a little bit of insight into what our production process is like. Now, there are a ton of different devices out there that you can use to get the job done. And today we're gonna be showing how to get that done with the Samsung Galaxy Book Pro 360, designed on the Intel Evo platform. Now, towards the end of last year, we started seeing the first few laptops carrying Intel's 11th generation processors from their Evo platform. And the Galaxy Book Pro 360, as well as a lot of those other Evo laptops, are different kinds of beasts, you guys. With an Evo platform laptop, you're going to have a certain experience when it comes to performance. They all have like a certain standard that you can come to expect so that throughout your day, you know exactly what you're gonna get out of it. Intel has done a lot to improve the performance of these laptops so that you can expect quite a few bumps in productivity, efficiency, and overall power when using them. And this right here is an Intel Evo laptop, so it has one of their Intel Core i7 processors, which should be able to handle everything that we're gonna throw at it to get a video done today. And Jay, I feel like for us, the only thing that's gonna switch up is our editing software, right? Since we typically use Final Cut Pro. So Jay, thankfully, is a master of all editing software over here. So he's gonna be using Adobe Premiere, but we'll talk more about the editing process later. But first, let's go into what it takes to get a video started. So usually for every video you see on the channel, there's some concept planning where the team kind of comes together and we figure out what do we want to actually post. Sometimes we get that unexpected news that we didn't know was coming up and we immediately have to cover it. But usually there's some thought that goes into what we're gonna cover, which products we think people wanna know about. But once we kind of figure out all the different things that we might want to talk about for the next couple of videos, and we take that and we start jotting down all our ideas, concepts, and we start making a schedule. We use all kinds of applications to kind of plan out the upcoming week or upcoming videos. So usually when we're conceptualizing, we're going into an app called Trello where we throw down our ideas, schedules, that kind of stuff. You guys can see we have like a ton of different columns over here, just kind of all filled out. Hopefully you guys can't see anything. I'm not trying to give away what's coming up next. I gotta surprise you guys. But I like this app because it syncs across different devices. So if you have your laptop, desktop, no matter what it is, once you're logged in, it all syncs up really quickly. And I personally like having a laptop like this that's super easy to take around, because of course you could turn it into laptop mode, type out whatever you need to type out, but you know, you got this nice touch screen, so when you're ready to just consume everything, you can go ahead, throw it into this mode. You've got all your information right in front of you, so it's really easy to keep track of where you are throughout the day. I can kind of keep tabs. What's Carl doing? Carl, you're supposed to be
recording?
You're supposed to be recording me right now as I'm shooting this video.
I'm looking straight at you.
Okay. All right. Check. But I say all that to say there's actually a lot of thought and planning ahead that goes into all of the content you see here on the channel. But when it comes to the next video and we've got our product or products in mind, then we move on to the next step, which is the actual review process. Now, of course, I wouldn't be a tech reviewer if I didn't spend time with the tech that I talked about on the channel. Typically, you can see a difference in the videos where I've had a product for a while and I'm giving you a full review versus a video where I'm just kind of featuring it. We're just talking about some of the first impressions or just kind of learning about the product itself. But usually for a video where there's a review period. I try to spend at least a few days, a week to get to really know a product. Sometimes some products need more time than others to kind of learn all the ins and outs. So that's why you guys kind of see me do a lot of videos where I integrate a product into my everyday life, because there's no better way of testing a product than actually using it. Of course, you can run benchmarks, but for me, if I don't like the vibes of something through regular use, I'm gonna wanna be able to know that and say that within my review video so I can give you guys a heads up. But yeah, for a laptop like this, this is going to be my main device for at least a week so I can kind of get to know all the ins and outs of it, and then I can provide you guys some like solid feedback, let you know if there are any little quirks that come up that I noticed while using it. This one in particular, Maybe it has just one quirk that I can find so far throughout my everyday use. And that's like the screen, when it's in my hand, not on a table or anything, you know, shake it up enough and it'll drop. But if you're not shaking it, you're just like steadily typing on it, stays in place just fine. It's not a real concern, just something I noticed through actually using it. Now, after I've gathered my thoughts and I feel like I have a pretty solid foundation of the product and everything it does and, you know, what quirks it may have, it's time to move on to shooting. And shooting can look like a few different things. So, of course, what we're doing right now, that's like more on-screen stuff. This is our A-roll. We've got Carl on B-cam over there. So, you know, A-roll with a B camera so we can swap between two different angles. So as I'm spilling out all of my thoughts on camera and these guys are capturing it and I'm demonstrating everything that a product can do, you know, we kind of just go through it. I go down a list of all the thoughts that I have. Of course, we'll pretty up the video so you're not just staring at me all day. Jay will go ahead, capture some B-roll with, you know, our fancy camera, get really nice product shots so that the video can be enjoyable by you guys. It's always been our goal for this channel to have great looking B-roll and footage. Jay puts in tons and tons of hours into capturing awesome looking footage. You guys see it?
Thank you.
It's beautiful. But we are using some like pretty heavy duty equipment. Even the cameras that we're getting A-roll with, these guys are no joke. We got the A7S III over there. So we've got some solid cameras capturing everything so you can see all the details about the product that you need to. So we also have to make sure that if we're going to be editing, that we have a computer here that can support those crazy files, because these files are no joke. Now, a feature that's really important for us to get our work done over here is actually Thunderbolt. Our file sizes are huge, so getting them transferred quickly is super important so that we can get to work immediately and start editing. And thankfully, the Galaxy Book Pro 360 has Thunderbolt 4, so it's gonna be able to support really, really fast data transfer speeds. And transferring like 60 gigs of footage only took a few minutes, and I can't stress how important it is to have those kind of speeds so that we can have a seamless workflow. So the newest Thunderbolt 4 being on this laptop is like the cherry on top. Now, we did do some testing already, and as we can see, a lot of our footage, which, you know, looks nice and clean, plays back very nicely on this laptop. So when it comes down to the editing process where, you know, Jay is adding that A-roll and the B-roll together, should have a pretty smooth experience. And I'm pretty confident that during Jay's editing process, it's gonna go pretty well because this does have Intel's 11th generation processors, which are codenamed Tiger Lake. So you're going to have even better graphical performance. It's supposed to really help with content creation, which is exactly what we're doing. So Jay, you're gonna, you know, throw up a Jay says, so that you guys know what he thinks and how he found editing with what, Adobe Premiere?
Premiere Pro, yeah.
Premiere Pro. All right, Jay. So he's gonna be editing this video that you're watching right now with Adobe Premiere Pro on this laptop, which is insane to think about considering its super thin and light body. If you're not planning on doing something like heavy duty like this, you wanna just do some office work, that kind of thing, you're gonna have a lot of power behind you. And it should be able to handle just about anything.
And as you guys can see right now, the team is pretty small. So one thing that we're hoping for is to eventually expand the team and find maybe another editor. And even if it has to be remote work, we're okay with that because it's part of that Intel Evo platform. We're gonna be able to get on video chats and video conferencing calls with way better quality because it's going to have AI powered noise reduction. So if there's anything going on in the background, not going to be able to hear that, and it also allows for just an overall better experience. So even if we do have to do some remote conferencing with another editor who might be 100 miles away, we're going to be able to take care of that with no problem.
Now, sometimes we might even switch it up and you might not even see me on camera. I might have to write a script, do a voiceover, and then we just kind of cover that up with some nice B-roll that Jay gets with this guy. So sometimes you'll catch me, you know, just talking into a mic, getting my thoughts down, putting that into an audio file that Jay can go ahead and splice up into some clean footage. So there are a lot of different ways that you can tackle a video. Obviously standing in front of the camera and just kind of going is the easiest. But if you want something more concise, clean, and well thought out, that's when you want to get that pen to paper or finger to keyboard and you get your thoughts down that way. What I've actually been enjoying myself is the ability to access my Samsung Notes right from this laptop. So, you know, it's got the ecosystem going, so I can just go ahead and look at my S21 Ultra 5G, see everything that I typed up on the computer, and it's gonna be ready for me to do my voiceover. It makes it a really nice and seamless process. At least for me, as somebody who, you know, makes videos, having that integration between the two of them, beautiful. And while we're talking about the S21 5G, we all know that Galaxy devices have beautiful, beautiful displays. I kind of like that Samsung went ahead and did the same thing here. We've got like a nice, beautiful OLED display that looks so crisp, and it also has some really, really great colors. So when it comes down to like the editing process, it's gonna be a really clean, good looking experience. For me, I feel like it's a really good time to be purchasing a laptop because not only are they getting like super thin, but they're also carrying a ton of power. Not something we used to see in the past. Usually when laptops were like this thin, they didn't have much power at all, but that is completely changing. Now for the way we do things over here, Jay not only shoots our videos, but he edits them, and once he's editing them and he's putting his sauce on it with like all kinds of cool motion graphics, highlighting all the little details that you guys might want to know about a product. After all that's said and done and Jay's finished editing it, he'll upload it to YouTube. We all review it to make sure everything looks good, and then we send it off to the world for YouTube to watch. So as you can see, there's a lot of thought, planning, and execution that goes into creating the videos that you see on this channel. Tech videos usually have that effort and just precision when it comes to, you know, the creation of this kind of content. That's kind of where the tech YouTube community has landed. Who started this, Marquez? Was it you that did all this whole make the B-roll nice and fancy thing? It might have been him. It's easy to just kind of see the end result and just be like, oh yeah, okay, cool video. But there's just so much work that goes on behind the scenes. Hopefully you guys can enjoy that stuff. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much what goes into making a YouTube video. Now, I didn't go into any of like the business side of things and working with different companies and different things. If you guys are interested in knowing that, I don't know, leave a comment down below. Maybe we could talk about it over on Twitter or Instagram or something. But there's like the whole business side of things. This was simply content creation, but YouTube, it's a multifaceted business, you guys. So there's a lot to consider. But hopefully this gave you some insight into the content creation part of it. Hopefully this gave you some insight into the Galaxy Book Pro 360. Now, obviously this video hasn't been a full review on the Galaxy Book Pro 360. It's just kind of some of my thoughts sprinkled in and kind of talking about what this thing is capable of. But if you guys are interested in seeing like a full-blown review, all the ins and outs of it, let me know with a comment below. But that about wraps it up for this video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, be the cool guy or girl that gives this video a thumbs up. If you guys want to see more behind the scenes content, let me know. It could be cool to kind of dig into what we do here a little bit more, but hopefully you enjoyed it. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Till then, it's your average consumer. Peace. We should just do a segment on Carl and what Carl does all day.
That would be a fun video.